On this video, I just want to make it short. On this video, I will be discussing on how we can see if the pressure switch is faulty on the washing machine. Usually when the washing machine has a faulty pressure switch or a faulty PC board, that make it seem like the pressure switch is faulty. It will fill water and overflow, or the washing machine will keep filling water then draining water, filling water then draining water. It depends on how the PC board is made. Some will fill water and overflow, some will fill water and drain water when the pressure switch is not sending the signal that the washing machine is full. So how do we see if it's the pressure switch or the PC board? Okay, a pressure switch is like this. It has these 3 pins. So there is one pin, let's say in this case we don't know which, that sends signal to the PC board. And the 2 pins, there is ground and there is positive. So between ground and positive, let's say this is positive and this is ground. So between these one, if we measure, we must get 5 volts, 5 volts. If we measure between these and here. So if we get 5 volts between these, where is that 5 volts coming from? That 5 volts is coming here, where the pressure switch is connected. Like on this board, a pressure switch is connected here, and on this one it's connected here again. Well, these boards, I thought they are the same, but the supplier told me that these boards are not the same. This one has a special function and this one does not have that special function. But when I look at these boards, really, they are really the same. But I respect what the supplier told me. But I'm just saying, to me, these boards look really the same. There is nothing that seemed different on these boards. But I respect what that guy told me. He said this one has a special function and this one doesn't have that special function. Okay, enough about these boards. So it's easy to see on any board where a pressure switch will go. It will always go where there are 3 pins. But in case you come across another board that has another input which takes 3 pins, you must trace the wires of the pressure switch and see where they are fitted on that board. So I'm saying if we measure between the two pressure switches using 5 volts, if we measure between here and we get 5 volts, that 5 volts is coming here. So that means the PC board is supplying us with 5 volts. So the pressure switch is the one that is faulty, because though it gets the supply, it's not giving us back the signal. So that's how we know if the pressure switch is faulty. Some test it for continuity here and here, but on that one you need to have an internal circuit diagram for a pressure switch. So if you measure between here and here, you should get continuity. If you measure between here and here, okay, in simple ways, in a simple way, there are 2 pins where you will measure and get continuity, and there are 2 pins where you must measure and not get continuity. But if you turn it and you blow here where you didn't get continuity, you must then get continuity when you have blown, because that's how this thing works. When there is a when there is a back pressure coming through this pipe that is fitted here, the pins that had an open line will close, sending the signal to the PC board. Then the PC board will start the wash cycle. So that's how you will test if a pressure switch is working. So if you get 5 volts, you replace the pressure switch. Don't worry about where to measure, because you are being supplied here 5 volts. So you measure between this one and this one. If you don't get 5 volts, then you measure between this one and this one. If you don't get 5 volts, you then again measure between this one and this one, between this one and this one. And since this is DC, the polarity that appears on your meter will tell you which pin is positive and which pin is negative. But if you measure between every pins here and you don't get 5 volts, that means the PC board is faulty, so the PC board must be replaced. So me, I don't bother measuring for continuity on the pressure switch. When this thing is on, I must get 5 volts. I don't get 5 volts, I replace the board or I repair the board. I get 5 volts, I replace the pressure switch. That's how we can tell if our pressure switch is faulty, or if our pressure switch is not faulty, it's the PC board that is faulty. So I hope you learned something on this video. Your like, your subscription will be highly appreciated.